Hmm, what am I gonna do with you? Ah, have you come to your senses, my dear? My, it took you so long, I almost thought you were so comfortable here, you refused to wake up. Don't bother trying. These aren't ropes, you know. These aren't your average roleplay situation either. And these are actual handcuffs, my dear. And let's just say I got this as a parting gift from my friend after his passing. Oh, of course I didn't do it. He is my dear friend after all. But I can't say the same to the bunch that did this to him. Still trying, my dear. Do you think you can wrestle out your hand just like some action movie? You're gonna hurt your pretty little hand. Here, look here. Here's the key. But you can't seem to reach it, can you? Here, let me put this a little closer and almost got fooled by you. I see you still have some fight left in you. But don't worry, I will free you, of course, after you and I have a little bit of a conversation. Although, how free are you? Depends on your answers. Well, first question. Wait. Where is my manners? You can't speak with those rags tied around your mouth. But you do know the drill. If you scream, that will be the last sound you ever make. And you do know it's not an empty threat. Not if you understand, my dear. Good. Slowly now. What's with that expression, my dear? Anger? Fear? Or a mix of both? Interesting little creature, are you? And normally they scream the moment I release the rag. Even though I am certain I did warn them. But surprisingly, not you. Tea? You must be thirsty after all. Here, allow me. Nice and easy. See, I'm not that scary. Unless you want me to be. Right, now that we are all nice and comfy, back to where we are. Do you know why you're here? You don't know? I will give you one more chance. Don't test me, girl. Good. Yes, unfortunately you were there. At the wrong place and at the wrong time. You were there when it happened, and as you know, usually such deeds has no eyewitnesses. Whether you were home early from work or something unexpected happened that made you where you were yesterday. But it matters not the reason. You were there, witnessing the deed. Am I correct? You were fired from your workplace. How unfortunate. I do hope it's not an attempt to make me sympathize with you. Although, I reckon you were having trouble in your workplace by that distressed look every time you were home. The lonely dinner, the planless Friday night, that silent crying every time you try to sleep. It's quite telling, you know. And it baffles me because you do have some great personality and a pleasant look to boot. What? You think I wouldn't realize it when I was surveying this neighborhood? I've been here for over a month, my dear. I know exactly where Mr. Baldwin is at 2 a.m. every Friday night. A naughty little prick, I might say. Who knew behind all that pious talk about marriage and adultery that he would do something similar himself? But that's not why I picked him. I picked him because he intentionally caused something dear to me. And you were, unfortunately, there to witness the whole thing. Dear me. Do you think I would simply pick a target? You amuse me. But be straight from the question now. The question is, what do I do with you? I can't let you go, for one. You've seen my face, and despite your constant promises of not telling a single soul, I find that hard to believe. What's with that dejected face of yours? Don't tell me you give up on living. You started to interest me more and more, my dear. Don't worry, I won't take your life. Just yet. If I wanted to, I would have done it already. You see, I was once like that. Ever since my friend was taken away from me, ever since that fateful day, I've been living in the constant void. No dream, no passion, nothing. Just an empty husk of flesh. Until, of course, I saw the very person that took my friend away from me. And all of a sudden, a rush of anger, hatred, vengeance, a spark of passion. Oh, and it was a cold one. I calculated, I planned, down to the smallest detail. It takes months, of course, to execute, but having a sizable bank account and a person with a higher standing in society does make it slightly easier. Oh, but when it comes to that moment, oh, and that satisfaction, the fulfillment, and the atonement, nothing could have replaced that feeling at that moment. Look at me babbling about it in front of a girl who is shaken with fear. But that's enough about me. And that empty husk of yours is exactly what I saw in the mirror back then. Perhaps society has failed you, or you've been devoid of the things you loved. And I do take a liking on you now. What say you? Be my doll, and I will shower you with gifts and dresses and, well, a good life, I suppose, until I'm caught. It's not like you have anything to lose, or I could end it all right now. Take your time, but not too long, of course. The way I see it, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Well, except for a few lousy relatives and friends, I suppose. This is where you negotiate the terms. It's not like you're a slave to me or anything. Unless, of course, there is what you desire. And then I will put a chain on your neck. Think about it. A nice place to stay, good food. You don't need to work, by the way. A great deal, I suppose, too. Being dead. And all you need to do is nod. What say you, my dear?